Oh, okay.
When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace, 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 and power, family. Dr. DAW is in the building with Sister QueenA B. Doc in the box, coming strong, coming through, ready for you. We are in the building today, family, and we have a topic. We hope that you join in with us on this flow, on this show, on this episode. The title of today's topic of discussion is the mindsets of Black Kamala supporters. I know a few weeks ago we spoke about the black male Trump supporters, and we was accused of being a little too hard on the brothers. At least I was. But nonetheless, I thought it would be really important to also speak to the mindset of Black Kamala supporters. In fact, I reached out to one of the brothers who thought that I was a staunch Kamala supporter.
He was leaning in on the men.
Yeah, they started having barbershop conversations about your good brother. And said there was even some talk about debates and all these type of things. I talked to a brother yesterday and said, I heard you want to debate me. He started laughing and said, not me, but your name did come up in the shop. And I was like, I said, well, he said he didn't want to debate me, but he said somebody else wanted to debate me. But I asked him, I said, so what is it that you want to debate? In fact, did you even look at the video? Ooh. He said, no, I don't know. He said, I didn't look at the video. I said, so how did you debate me on something you never watched? But anyway, Queen talked to the people. And also, Queen, I am hearing myself back, though. But go ahead.
That's you and their computers. That's
no, it's not me. It's not me. I tried to blame it on me, Queen, but I'm coming.
It's not me. It is not me. I did all of my stuff. But anyway, good evening, Black Boxers. Listen, greetings from South Carolina. I just want to say hey to the people. Listen.
She's getting real comfortable talking about South Carolina. I'm trying to tell you. She letting us know.
Yeah, I'm in the South Carolina studios out here.
She letting us know, Baltimore folk, your days are numbered, but go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. Be more is my life. Listen, I'm rocking the O's hat, the golden edition. I'm doing hometown stuff. You see it says Baltimore on the side. The Ravens are playing tonight. I'm rocking hard for Baltimore tonight. Real talk. That's right.
Hold on. We're on and the Ravens are on.
We're on and the Ravens are on. So, we're going to have two people tonight. The Ravens are on. I got my O's hat on. So I'm rocking for the home team. Got Baltimore on the side. It's a limited edition. So, shout out NFL. I don't really do NFL, but, I love Lamar Jackson and them boys.
It's nice. I didn't even notice the O's. It's a nice hat, though. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. This is an O's joint. So I want to say to everyone, greetings from our South Carolina studios. I just want to say this is Virgo season, baby. So y'all know QueenA B is a Virgo. Black Box Radio started on 9/19. So it's all Virgos in the house. This is Virgo season. It's September. And I'm feeling really happy about Virgo season this year. And I also want to say, guys, this for my birthday this year, and Black Box's 5-year anniversary. This is our 5th year, guys. We're coming in the 9/19. We're gonna have a show on that night, right, Di? That's a Thursday. But yeah, 9/19 is our 5-year anniversary, and for that anniversary, we're introducing new shows to the platform. We have 2 new shows coming on in September, and I want to say to anyone who wants to do a podcast and you want to be a part of a platform that is growing and that we will support you, we will do the production. We will set you up that you will be very successful. So if you want to do a podcast, you want to talk to the people, you want to do a blog, you want to do anything that kind of deals with communication, we're actually extending the platform to other folks who have interesting black folks. That's what we're doing. Ordinary people with extraordinary doing extraordinary things. So please hit us up at blackboxradio at gmail.com and say I want to do a podcast and I got you. All right. So greetings. We about to jump in. Let's go.
All right, family. So yeah, the time comes. And we talk about mindset or mindsets of Black Kamala supporters. And
Whoa.
I want to just preface this conversation by saying I know it's not an easy conversation. And what I mean by not easy is that there is definitely more nuance when it comes to what I call Black Kamala supporters. We spoke about Trump supporters, the black male Trump supporters a few weeks ago. And I think that there's a type, there's a little nuance. But what I spoke about in the black male Trump supporters is there's a lot of rigidity in those black males typically. Typically, they're fundamentalists. Typically, they are very left brain oriented people who operate out of a place of fear and protection mode. There's people who believe in values and never were good back when the values were supposed to be good. It's a little bit more easier and less nuanced to talk about Trump supporters, especially black male Trump supporters. But I think that if we're going to be fair, we have to have a more complex conversation when it comes to Kamala supporters. Because the thing is, it's easy to say that they all the same. I know Queen's coming for me. They all the same. They are the same, and then also and also call people crazy for voting for either or the other, one or the other, that type of thing. But I am here to say, from my standpoint, my perspective, and also from a psychological, physiological perspective, that I think the conversation has to be a little bit nuanced in calling out people stupid, dumb, deaf, blind, and retarded for voting for either candidate. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's no other candidates out here, nor am I suggesting that I'm voting for either one of them. But what I am saying is that because people decide to vote for one party or the other, I think there's a more nuanced conversation to have, especially when it comes to Kamala. Some of us, I would just start off the breaks by saying that some of us, some of us, would just vote for Kamala just because she fits the black card, because she fits the black card. And then those of us who are saying that she isn't black are really attempting to disparage those particular mindset of black people. Don't just vote on her because she's not black. She's not black. And that's the reason people saying, why is it even important? To those people who are saying that she's not black, are saying is black, she's not black because they understand there's a group of us. No matter the politics of a person, as long as they're black or seemingly black or identifiably as black or say they're black, will vote for Kamala because they think she's black. And again, I say that, I can't hear you, Queen. Hold
You
on, I
muted
put
me.
you on.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I did.
Listen, and I'll do that. Listen, so I want to understand why, if people are voting for her because she's black, that's a problem if you're black. Because we see that there's been 45, well, 44, let's say, because Barack has to be black. There's been 44 white men in a white country. They vote for white people. So let's not get it twisted that other people don't vote for people who look like them. Trump is a lot of people are voting for Trump just because he's white and Kamala is black. So I don't understand why when black people do it, it's an issue because we're used to supporting everybody but ourselves. What
I
is the problem of voting just because she's black? And not that I'm doing that. I'm just being the devil's advocate.
well,
I
I
would
think
like to.
that well, yeah. I mean, I hope you really become the devil's advocate tonight. Because I mean, let's talk about it. Let's flesh this out. Be a good devil's advocate.
Yeah, we got
You know what I mean?
45 white men who were president. Let's be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. Be a good devil's advocate and
44, excuse me.
put that speaker on mute when I talk. Okay, not right when we flow on. It's good, but nonetheless, this is what I want to say. The I have a problem with white. I mean, I don't have a problem. I'm just saying that that's not a good enough reason to vote for white candidates. In fact, I agree that there are people out here that are voting particularly or specifically, not just because Trump is white, because Biden was white too, but he also represented he represents the idea of white supremacy. Outwardly and aggressively represents it and protects them as victims in this country. He protects a class of white people who believe they've been overlooked. So I understand why, but the reality is some people, and even if the politics don't even, they're voting against their own interests even on the white side. But I would say that it's not as easy when you look at Kamala. Kamala knows how to fake. I mean, if you're going to call it that. I'm saying at least I mean, if you're calling it fake, I'll go with that. I'll say at least she is at least saying some hypotheticals or roundabout ways that she's going to help you. I'm not talking about that one clip to say, I ain't doing nothing for black people. I'm not going to just say that. I'm not talking about that. Because if you listen to that entire video, she talks about things specifically that she wants to do and has done for people that we identify as black. But there are those people that will specifically vote for Kamala because she identifies or they identify her as being black. That is one of the let's say mindsets that we have, and I would say that is a very lower maturity level or developmental level when it comes to this political electoral politics game. In fact, it's all a game. But nonetheless, go ahead. I hear you.
Okay. If you're saying that's a low, immature approach, we see this approach has been going on for years in America. White
Right.
people have been voting for white people.
Mhm.
And they've only had to choose between white people. They've never complained. They've never had an issue. And when there was it has been a colored candidate or a black candidate, one might say, some of them are still voting because they trust themselves. They trust something that looks like themselves.
Who was that? Black people?
White people.
Well,
We've had 44 white presidents.
I
What have
think
white people voted for? What have
but
everyone voted for?
I think it
White
has to be.
folks.
I think it has to be if white people have been voting for white people, and the only people on the ticket were white for so many years, and so every so often somebody of color or quote unquote will come in, then they had to vote on something else other than skin color because the only
I
choices
doubt
they
it very
had.
serious. That's all the choices they had because they set the country up that way and they did not allow it. It's so expensive to even run.
You cut
So
me off
there's
with
no
that
one
wrong
who,
answer. You cut me off with that wrong answer.
whatever.
You cut me off with that incorrect response.
I
I
don't
am
know if it's
saying,
incorrect. I'm saying what it is.
or maybe you just didn't hear what I was saying.
Well, go ahead and say it.
What I was saying was white people could not exclusively vote for white people just because they're white if the only contenders were white. They had to then identify some other things why they voted for the particular white person they voted for.
That was the setup, though, bruh. The setup is only whites could run. So you set it up so only something like you can run, and your choice only can be white because you could not run.
Okay.
Let's be
I mean,
clear.
well, but I am saying those white people who went to the polls and they had 2 white people or 3 white people or 4 or 5 white people to choose from, they had to come up with some rationale of why they chose the person they chose. Just like if black people, let's say there's several black people running in the Democratic Party for a thing. There has to become now we have to make some decisions past being black.
Absolutely.
You understand? Because at that point we have plenty of candidates that are black. So now we have to start to look at some other things. I don't know, maybe he's handsome, or maybe she looks good, or maybe they talk good, or whatever it is. We have to then decide what are the reasons why we are definitely.
I do agree with that, but there's a person does not have a chance or even to become a part of the race. Yes, of course, there's a deciding factor, but what I'm saying is white people are voting for white people. We are voting for white people. And now we have a choice for a black person, and we're saying that black people can't vote because they're black. I don't think that's sensical, but I think that you should vote because of a person doing something for you and your family or your community. But if you're not, if you see something that looks like you, tell me why that's bad.
Because that is a traumatic way to vote. You know, in this country, it is very common that white supremacy have used people that look like us. I'm not suggesting Kamala is one of those people. I'm not saying she isn't. But what I am saying is we understand that they understand the game. You put someone in a place that look like them, feel like them, talk like them, smell like them, then they will likely feel comfortable and elect them or spend their money with them or invest in them. So every company or big company in this world hired black people to go into the black community. And I know many of us have been in those positions where you come into, if you were in financial services, especially I was in the financial arena. I remember they had black advertisement and you were the black representative and you go and sell life insurance policies to the black community. You understand? And they might not say the reason why you were there because they wanted you to go and infiltrate the black community with life insurance products, but that is the very reason why they want you there. They might not say when I was a black professor at an all-white university that they want to diversify the university and pull in black and more diverse monies and help people feel comfortable and teach the white people certain things as well. But they, at least, it looks good, But they might not say those things, but they always think about those things. They want to know how they can leverage your blackness. That is what they do. Queen, you all right? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and say something.
My screen went white. So, and you're right. I'm just saying that I think this is a time that some people are just engaging because they see something that looks like them. I don't say it's something they should vote just because someone looks like you, but I think they do feel that, okay, here we have someone that looks like us, black woman. So this is all history. I'm not saying vote for her or Trump. I don't like really either of them. Let's be clear. But
now, if I have to keep it a buck, there's another type of voter. We talked about there's another type.
What is that type?
And I think we all fall into this, whether or not we want to keep it real. And we know there's something about that lady's blackness or perceived blackness. I mean, what are you doing to the backgrounds, Queen? Why don't you leave things alone? Why are you turning things white? Why are you doing that?
Because I wanted to be all white. We talking about white. Let's be white.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, if I would be lying, and most of us would be lying if we do not admit that somehow something, even a small part of us, would like to see her in the White House.
I agree.
We will be lying. There's a small part of us, whether we're fighting it or not, we don't want to feel gullible by going out there and voting for her. But there's something inside of us that would much rather see her in that White House than Trump. And that even if it wasn't a Trump, we
I'm keeping it a
still
buck.
want to
Yes.
see Kamala and her, and we're hoping that the Howard University comes out at least in the second term. So there's a part of us, and this is a vote. This is one of the mindsets. The first mindset: oh, she black, you're a fool if you don't do it. No, she's black and she a Democrat. See, Democrat equals black in many of that first mindset's mind. Democrat equals black to them. In fact, if you black and you Republican, you just as good as white. So now being Democrat and black means you double black. You down. You know what I'm saying? You down with the D. You dig? So then you have those of us who like, yeah, I don't get into all this electoral politics thing. They all the same. But man, damn, it would be nice to have inside of you fighting this thing, like you're just fighting it. You're like, oh man, like, man, but you're telling your friends, like, yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same.
I don't think black men feel like that. A lot of black men, they're hard on black women. Some of these black men,
we talk about those Trumpers.
Yeah,
we talking about those Trumpers. We already did a whole episode on them. We got a lot. I'm a black man, and there's black men that's walking around talking all this mess. That also inside of them, they know that it goes against their own politics. They know this. They know that they know it's the same, but they don't want to be the same people who let their guard down for Obama. They will black power. Anybody who gets in this position is not going to be able to serve us. They know all of that. But at the end of the day, you still like a little part of you like, yeah, I want Kamala to win. I want Kamala in there. Just for the symbology of it, you know what I mean? But then let me back up. So so that is the mindset one that we talk about, that just because she's black and Democrat, she's in. Two, you have the mindset where I kind of skipped over some things, but I'm gonna make that too for just this state of purpose, but that you don't necessarily want to verbally, outwardly say you want her to win, but deep inside, you really want her to win, but it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? It don't really make no sense, and there's limitations, but then also you're hoping that the limitations, that she get up there and become gangster. Like if we had a black person, like nobody can. So okay, then let's go back. There's people like saying, well, there's another mindset. Let's go to another mindset. There's those of us that say, well, Kamala is black, or she's a person of color. She's running for president, so she can't say certain things. She can't say certain things, so we can't expect her to say certain things and become elected president, which I think is another mindset, which I think is also logical if you look at it on a case-by-case basis. But the reality is, what has history shown us?
But Trump says anything and he become president.
That's what I'm trying to highlight here. That when you're black, that those group of people saying, we know that as black people, we can't speak out like Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We have to play it safe. And Kamala has double dutch better than anybody. I've never seen anyone double dutch as good as she is. It's almost sickening, to be honest with you. It's like she double dutches and people love it. I mean, I'm going to tell you what really's been and then there's the person who like there's a mindset that's saying, well, look, man, I like to see her in there, but she's not I don't like the fact that she is really coming out with this double dutching as it pertains to what's going on in Israel right now. What's happening in Israel right now, Kamala is doing the best double dutch you could ever see. She starts off, I stand with Israel. I stand with, they have a right to exist.
Yeah.
They have a right to exist. And then she goes through all of that. And then she gets to, but the time has come where enough is enough and we need a ceasefire. So that is to kind of lure the other people back in and not have the black
Yeah.
people and the real leftists back out from supporting her. But at the end of the day, that to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. That one right there, that part right there, I'm just gonna tell you, in my mind, that don't sit well with me. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna keep it above. Personally,
Well, listen, if she's president or if she's not president, they're gonna hold down in Israel. I think a lot of times we think the president is the most powerful thing, and it's not true, and it's clear that it's not true. And I don't care who's in there; they all do the same thing. But Barack killed Gaddafi, baby. So Barack and his folks, and them boys that he had with him. So they're all going to do their agenda of who is really in power, and it's not the president. It's clear that
so
it's
what are
not the
you saying
president.
though? You saying
I'm saying
well,
if Israel, whatever Israel wants to do, we holding them down because
well,
we're their cousins. Them people is their cousins, and that's what they're gonna do. So
so
even if Kamala doesn't sit in that seat, Israel's
you
gonna
don't. So
get held down.
you're saying that Kamala, you're saying the president has no power on how we funnel our money to Israel.
I don't think so. I think
So
that's a given.
who does?
I don't know. I can't say who's in power, but I know the president is only a piece of the power. It's not the final piece.
I mean, but so you're saying there is a piece.
I think they have of course. I mean, it's a process to be president. It's a process to get there. The money that it takes to be invested to be able to even run for president. Yes, they do have a piece. They sign bills.
Yeah. So at least, what about at least using your piece, your power, and your influence?
I don't think to change the movement, you are just a piece of the wheel. It's just like a wheel. The wheel still goes around if a cog is broke.
You know why
If
people
a
like
cog
Trump?
doesn't,
You know why people like Trump? You know why people like Trump?
Tell me why.
They like Trump because Trump speak all the he for all the shits.
He is, but he's still going to do what he's still sitting in the seat and do the same thing.
And he say all the things that they want to hear. I'm talking about in a very strong way. But I mean, we know that a white person can get elected in this country.
Yeah, that's his whiteness too. So yeah, he could do all the shits because that's his whiteness working. But he's still going to sit in that seat and comply too. Because see, when you don't comply in these Americas or any, you see what happens. You're either thrown away or you're gone away. One way you're gonna get away.
Let's look at some of these comments.
Yeah, let's look at them.
You know,
Papa Slapper said, and that double dutch is all she's gonna do if she get in office. You right about that. She gonna be the best jumper out there, Proper. So, and he also said the contracts were signed a long time ago. I'm not sure about that, but I think he's actually alluding to me saying that the president is as powerful as we think they are.
He's talking about the contracts to support Israel.
Oh yeah. That's gonna happen forever.
Now,
I don't ever see that.
I have to be honest that I'm not sure. I am not sure what. I don't have enough information to understand what it would take to get out of those contracts. But I do know as politicians, you can at least speak up and against these things, and that's what's and then you can start momentum. Now
she's
I'm not saying that's
up, but she's not gonna be able to do anything.
I don't think she's speaking up that great.
That the little that she said is more than what Biden said, and she's still not going to do anything.
Well, what is she saying now?
She said, of course, she's saying that it has, like you said, it has to be. We got to look at this. We got to re-examine. Nothing's going to get re-examined because white supremacy is the tool, baby. It is everything, and so nothing's going to get examined. So we see that these type of malicious killing and oppression of people goes throughout the world, and we support it. And that's what's going to happen either if she sits there or Trumpy sits there.
So some people say, well, choose your enemy. Which enemy do you want to fight to get to liberation?
Which enemy? I don't think any of these enemies will help us to liberation.
This is the so why vote then?
I think voting is a tool.
Use
it. or
You
not
got no,
use
no,
it.
no, no, no.
Tools
You
get
got.
used and sometimes they get not used.
Well, I mean, you stop double dutching and tell me what you mean.
You listen, sometimes you need a wrench, sometimes you need a screwdriver.
Well,
Sometimes
are you saying that the president, the tool that's called the president, is one of those tools you just leave in the toolbox and don't use?
listen, the president is not going to liberate Africans. And
Mm.
there's been no election where where African people has benefited to the point where we have seen these wondrous benefits. So listen, it's a
I'm sorry.
tool, and whoever you like, you use it for your. I think it's a tool that we
You know,
use or
you
not use.
I mean, when I hear people say that, I do understand that in theory that the president is not going to liberate Africans,
Eh.
but I think that they can, or at least aim
I think they
towards
have
it.
the power, but they're not.
And what I mean by aim towards it, what I mean by is if you practice things as they've been practiced, the status quo, then yeah. But if you want to go in there and fight for your, fight and put your life in jeopardy and all that, go, there's potential for anybody, a janitor to the president. When you think
But
about
you're going dead.
when you think
I
about
promise you,
Tucson,
you're going
when you think
dead.
about Tucson Overture, he was a part of aristocracy in Haiti, and then he
Yeah.
switched up.
And
I
what
am
they do?
saying that someone any
What they do to
position
Tucson?
can work towards it. Well, I mean, that's part of the struggle.
That's what I'm saying. You're going dead. So if
Well,
you're ready to fight and
well,
die,
I
and most
mean,
of us don't want to die,
I
but you're
mean,
going
but
dead.
but think about it. Castro did his form of liberation. He didn't die.
Castro
That's
was on his
that's
was on his own.
so
Wait
that,
a minute. When Castro was in his own country, Castro did not bring his tail to the U.S. He was
well,
very strategic.
this
Huh?
is our country. This is our country.
Who country?
This is our country.
Who's our?
Mine's and yours. This is the only damn country you know. I'm
I want
sorry.
to know who's our.
You got an O's cap on representing Baltimore
Be more, baby.
and the Chuck. I
Baltimore.
never
Oh,
even
it's on
heard
that
about the
side.
Chuck.
Baltimore.
You told me what the
I'm
Chuck
in the
is.
Chuck.
So you represent all the states. You buy coastal, buy statal, buy everything else, and then you're going to talk about you're not a good old American, African
I'm
descent.
saying I was born in America, and this is and I am a American African. I will say that, but this is them people's country, and I've been born here, and I'm have to exist and do what I have to do in this country. But
You know what's
I'm
crazy?
this ain't my country.
I hear her say stuff like I'm an American African. I even heard myself say, "What the hell is that?" Like literally, like
I'm
I
in
mean, it's,
America, and I'm African.
yeah, that's kind of crazy still though. Like we try to
Well,
flip it around. Like, what's the difference between saying I'm an American African and an African American?
it's really no difference. But I just
It's like
to me,
putting a K in Africa, right?
I just think that American. Yes, I'm that too, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
American African.
Yeah.
So
So
that's why I say that.
that puts the American before Africa when I think about it.
I was born here, but it's not before Africa. I the period in the sentence is the African.
Mm-hmm.
So American is where I was born, what I am, but my genes and what I breathe and walk and talk is African all day, every day.
Hotel California said it's so many folks still saying I'm not voting. It's sad.
Yeah,
What you
she's
say that?
saying
What you
it.
said? I mean, that's what Queen is saying too.
I didn't say I'm not voting.
Not for the president.
I'm not saying that. I think everyone should vote.
Queen, you said that president tool is going in the box. It's going to stay in there. You need a screwdriver sometimes. You need a pair of pliers.
Listen,
And
we
right
got
now,
like
the
my brother
president-
Papa said. There's another candidate. We have my brother
Oh,
Cornell.
Okay, so you gonna vote for Cornell?
No.
You voting for what's the sister name with the Latino name?
Yeah,
the
that chick.
Latina. Why you call
The
that sister a
Latina
chick?
girl. Yeah, I saw her now.
What's her name? You're not gonna vote for her?
No.
What about Jill Stein?
Say the name again so you can answer your own question. Answer your own question.
I mean,
Just say it one more time.
So you vote color,
I didn't vote color. Just say the name again.
Jill Stein.
No.
You vote in ethnicity, and
No.
that's a determining factor for you.
what's the determining factor
You know
in
you
this?
voting for Kamala. Stop that. You know that you won those ones. You won the first one, the second ones I talked about. Stop
I like
faking.
Kamala.
You're
Listen,
going
I
to
like
vote for
Kamala.
Kamala.
I probably will vote for if it was
Okay, come
out of all of these.
clean.
Listen, out of all of these candidates, if I had the choice, I would vote for Kamala, but not because I am endeared to her. I have problems, a lot of
You
problems
know
with
you
her.
want to see that black woman up in the White House.
I
Stop
do,
it.
but I don't want to see, and I don't want to say it, but no, I don't really want to see it actually, because I don't want
You
to see the whole. No, I don't really want
you
to
want
see.
somebody else in there in your fantasy world, but today you gonna vote for Kamala.
I wish Kamala was standing there with a black man. I'm gonna be honest. That's it.
That one don't work for you.
Well,
You
I mean, you love who you love. I am not negating her love for her husband and their bond, but
mm-hmm.
I want to see black women with black men. I do, and I would love to see the first black male vice president's husband.
So
I
that
mean,
that would
president's
so
husband. I would love to see that.
that's not working for you.
It's not that it's not working. She to me is the best choice out of all of this trash. It's I already say you going up in the trash and it goes in the trash and you need it, so you go there and you wash
So
it
she's
off
better.
and you still use it. She's
So she's
that.
better than. So she's better than Cornell.
I think so.
So it's like washing those greens in the bathtub that she was talking about. That's what you're talking about.
No,
The
I don't like
trash
the way
wash.
she make her greens neither. There ain't no them ain't no southern greens. Nah.
But I mean, why do you say she's better than Cornell though?
I'm not saying she's
Now,
better.
if I really wanted to see somebody in the White House, if I thought he had a shot, at least that would be that would be. Look, if Cornell had a shot, I literally would like to see him up in there to see how he started talking about jazz.
Kamala did have a program I like for black
No,
for ex offenders. I loved some of her programs in San
the one she
Francisco.
locked up.
No, she had one where she did not lock up. That if you go through this program, you would get skills. You would get your
After she locked him up, then she put him in the program. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it was no after she locked up. It was in
I mean,
actually
people
concurrent.
keep. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what's
it's actually concurrently.
It
It's
was concurrent.
concurrently.
So she
It's
locked him up and
concurrent.
put him through the program.
She had some lockups. I mean, she's a state's attorney. They all lock up. That's what they are. They're part of this
Oh,
justice system. They're going to lock up. I don't know why we
you
think
told
that
me
a
you were playing.
prosecutor
You
doesn't lock
told me
up.
you were playing the devil's angel's advocate, and it seemed like I'm doing a better job.
I'm just saying, why don't we think that someone who's
Look.
a
Just
who
tell the people
works?
you pro. Just tell the people you pro Kamala.
I'm not pro Kamala. Trust me, I'm not. I do not
No,
like a lot of things about this lady,
I'm
but
talking
out of
about
these
I'm talking about as it pertains to this election.
to this election, not pro, but I think she's at this
I,
point the
I,
best
I,
choice.
I'm just messing with you, but I got what you're saying.
Yeah, I think at this point she's the best choice, but I'm not pro Kamala. I have some issues with
So
Kamala.
but at this
Absolutely
point, she's
do.
the best choice you believe at this
I
moment.
think at this point she is the best choice. All
Hmm.
of this fanfare and all of that's not moving me. Truly, I've always liked the way she speaks. I've always liked her.
Oh, you like the way
How
she speaks?
I like how powerful she is. How smart
Hmm.
she's brilliant.
Hmm.
She's a very good speaker.
Hmm.
She's a fighter. She's tough. I saw her in Senate hearing. She gave those guys the business. So
It's
she can fight, and I like that about her. But other things I don't like.
so there's so you fit in that second category that I was talking about.
What's that? I like she's a black woman, of course. I love that.
Maybe the third category because you're literally going to vote for her.
I keep saying I'm
No,
literally.
you are. So I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. What is proper? Was he
Yeah, I want
say?
to see properly says the only way to see any results from a president is in the indirect powers. Who chooses the Supreme Court judges and the circuit judges, where we lose a lot of cases when they come up. That is very. I think that has a lot. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Mm,
Proper
the
is
only
that
way.
these judges are important, and we're having a lot of. I mean, Trump put a lot of judges on the court, and it's been a problem.
And he was a thorn and vetoing things and
Yes.
doing this and doing that, and they can release some people from prison. They can do a lot of things. Let's stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the things they can do, but I do know that they can do some things more than what sometimes we give people passes. Like we gave Barack Obama so many passes. The same
A
people
million passes. They
that
still love Barack.
gave Barack Obama passes when he was in there. Now
Yep.
some of them I hearing say you couldn't say nothing about him when he was up in there. But when they now, because Biden is in there, they're like, oh, Obama never did anything for us. The same people that you could not say anything to them about Barack not doing a goddamn thing or not much for us, holistically. And I get what some people are saying. Sometimes things look like people are doing things, and it's called false generosity. Meaning that so I think we have to look at these things through like Derek Bell speaks about it. Like these things are given to maintain power. Paulo Freire speaks about it. False generosity. If you want to know Derek Bell, Dr. Derek Bell, one of the developers of critical race theory. So yeah, what did he say? Child way she speaks, the way she
I
speaks.
think he says the way she speaks where, because I said she speaks where, LOL, in Boston or in Southern Black spaces or white ones. I'm in a Southern Black space. I don't think you've heard Southerners. Kamala as well. She speaks very well. Trust me,
How
she's
you
been
gonna tell
vetted.
how you gonna tell that man he haven't heard Southerners?
No,
He
he
right he
hasn't.
right he right up the street from you.
Whatever.
He in VA.
I'm not up the street. I'm in South Carolina. That's 3 states.
That's 2 states. But look,
Is it?
it's actually really
Okay.
1 because the only state you have to go over is North Carolina. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yes. So
You're right.
I can count.
Shut up.
I mean, look.
We got A Golf. He been gone for a while. He
Hey,
says,
golf back in the Hillsville.
Twitler. Mr. Twitler, why would anyone vote for more trickle down Don? 9 of the last 10 U.S. recessions happened while a Republican was president. Who does that hurt? I don't understand the Republican Democrat thing. They all the problems. Triple ground Don. Don is going to do what Don do. Don want to be rich. He's going to take care of rich folk.
Who is Don? Oh, Donald Trump.
Donnie Trumpy.
I mean, I know why people will vote for Don.
Me too.
You do?
And he's pro-white. Yes, white folks
He's
will vote for
pro-white.
him. Pro-white.
He's also pro quote supposedly pro-white. I don't think Don is anything pro besides pro Don. Let's keep that.
Me
in the
too.
book. But Don
I
will
think he's a
become
businessman. He's going to look out for businesses. People think
but I also do think he's a bigot.
very much so.
So he supports bigotry. Yeah. So, and he supports and creates more bigots. He speaks for the bigots. And he speaks for those who are in fear. He speaks for those who believe the immigrants are coming and take our jobs. He speaks for those who believe that
He's married to an immigrant. Both of them. They're so the hypocrisy of these boys killed me. They both married to immigrants.
But don't you understand that a white male, they see that as a form of domination. That doesn't mean they want your family members in their country. Just because we go across seas and we war in your country and we sleep with your women, don't mean that we want to also help your country. You know, all those people that went over you know how many people went to Vietnam and was making babies, but also killing the people at the same time. So that has nothing. That has nothing to do with anything.
I agree.
That's a form of domination in their minds. I went to the shithole country and I dominated the people. That's Don.
Danny boy. That's not. Listen, guys, we put the link in the chat. Come sit with us. Come on up stage. Come, let's talk. Agolf, Twitler, you in here. We got a Marty Zennis. Let's get Agolf, then we're going to hit up Marty. So listen, if you want to come in, there's the link. Come see us. Come sit down and talk to us. Kamala will be the.
Jump on here because I ain't got a whole lot of time to be up here all night, people. Come on, jump on up in here so we can have a conversation.
Yeah, come on.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get home in a reasonable time.
Kamala will be the first Democratic president in 3 decades.
Here by 10:30. We ain't going
by
no
10:30. Okay, by 3 decades to not have to start by rescuing the American economy. You're gonna have to rescue from a Republican recession. Okay, imagine what we could do for the working class families. You know, the rhetoric, what I will say, and not that I don't agree or do agree, but this working class family, and they're going to do something for working class people and all of this is Ridiculous. It's nothing being done for anybody. Whoever can keep the system going and ensuring that the money keeps rolling, that's who's going to be empowered. So if it's working class, if it's the poor, if it's the rich, whatever it is, but there's no way that I think that we're looking to hurt working class people, because if we did, we would give people raises, we would give them more incentives on their jobs, we would do more for working class people.
Well,
That
you
don't have
can't
nothing to do
say
with the
that's not
president.
happening. You can't say that's not happening. It hasn't happened.
I'm not saying it hasn't, but I'm saying
I mean,
to
it's
say,
happened. It's happened real
imagine what we
recently.
could do.
Yeah, I mean, but
What?
it's happened real recently. People are voting, and that's why I'm saying these mindsets and some of this stuff is real. Like they do construct policies that seemingly help you. That's a
Who?
fact. Democrats. What are you saying?
I'm just
I
taking a
said,
drink. I'm just
I
taking a
said,
drink.
you before you took the drink, there was a smack, like you drunk it before you drunk it. It was like, let me
Because
take a hit on
I
it.
think that we put our power in hands of people who are not looking to help anything but themselves.
Hold up,
Rich
hold
people
up.
cannot make policy for poor people.
That that
These
that
folks,
is even
everybody in this, huh?
that is not true.
What is not true?
It is not true that rich people cannot make policy. It might be true that in this system, ain't not everything that you do within this system without disrupting the system does nothing but maintain the system. But you cannot say, you can say if you want to. That's why I'm saying things are more nuanced than what we say. There are policies that seemingly benefit people, and they do help take some stress off people. But it also maintains the system. Two things can exist at the same time. Example, all social services. Okay, give you an example. Anybody who got their loans discounted or forgiven, they feel like that benefited them. I am not saying you. I am saying for those. And I put you on mute because I was hearing myself back. So you're doing a whole lot of energy over
I don't
there.
know one person who's told me they've gotten it. I don't know one person I can put my hands on that
There's
they
plenty of
those loans.
there's plenty of people who have their loans forgiven.
Tell me
I'm
one
not.
that
I
you
am not.
know.
I am talking. I'm not talking about what Biden tried to do. I am talking about teachers who work at non-profit profits. I am talking about people who serve in the military. I'm talking about healthcare workers who, if you work for nonprofits for a certain amount of time, these are social programs. People who benefit from welfare. People who benefit from early childhood. I mean, there might be some ulterior motive on all of this, but what I'm saying is, in the meantime, people feel like these policies benefit them.
Okay.
Like, okay, and on a more local level, Davon Love and them just did something about this marijuana tax, where they're taking this money on the local level here in Baltimore or Maryland, and what they're doing is they're making sure that there's a tax to go towards reparation. That is a policy. What I am saying is it and will it do anything to disrupt the system? I am not that smart to know. But what I am saying is I trust what Davon Love and them are doing, and other politicians even. I'm talking about even on a local level. But what I am saying that we are not being honest when we say that there's not a policy that does not seemingly help people. You would not have a Pell Grant system that used to exist.
I didn't say they weren't policies. We live in a very socialist type of country. We want to say that capitalism.
Now this is a socialist.
I mean, we have a lot of socialized programs that most countries don't have. So we do. We have a heavily socialist system that is definitely underlined by capitalism. So there's a lot of social programs, and I'm not saying that those are not helping folks, but I just don't think there are policies.
But these are built from policies. They are created through policy and laws, enactment.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, hold up. You don't believe that?
I'm not saying. I said I believe that.
These are bills.
But I said I believe that the social programs are being funded through these bills and these policies. I agree.
The Mental Health Portability Act, where now clinicians can practice across states with licensure. So there is reason, if you're going to operate within this system, that we have to be politically involved.
True.
and mostly you'll be more likely to get these programs through Democrats.
True.
Whether we want to, they don't show up the same. I'm not saying they don't serve the same big picture, but I am saying that while you're in this big picture, there will be differences depending on who's in that seat.
Who's in that seat? I agree. Marty Zennis, I'm not sure. Immigrants not going to take y'all's channel. I'm not really sure what that means, but because we Africans, we're not immigrants, but we sure are over here.
What did he say?
Immigrants are not going to take y'all's channel. I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna let that go.
I see. Oh, immigrants are not going to what?
Take y'all's channel.
Oh, I don't. My wife's an immigrant, so she takes me I'm not going to. she. I didn't mean to say it like that, but we have 2 children, so she's taken me a few times. But go ahead.
Oh my God, that's a good point. But what exactly is her plan for working class families?
What's a good point?
Your point. I guess he was talking about when you were saying that there are policies that we do better with Democrats. When you were saying that, you made a good point.
And notice I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Seemingly,
Okay.
and I think we have to be really true about this. Like we can't. It's the lazy way is to say that they are the same and think that somehow somebody who just got welfare or just got the Affordable Care Act is going to say, well, they're the same. Trump says no to the Affordable Care Act, but Biden and Obama said yes to the Affordable Care Act, and I like the fact that now I have insurance for $60 a month, full the top of the spear. One of my clients told me for $60 a month.
I need to talk to you about that, but I do have insurance too, and I'm very blessed. So listen, I have Obamacare.
And I'm not even saying Medicaid. I'm saying Blue Cross or
United
Health, or I'm saying people have Blue Cross even with paying depending on their income. And so when we say that there's no difference, I get what you're saying, what we say on the big picture.
On the big picture, but to be microly, there is a difference.
Understand that there are benefits, even if they are false benefits or benefits just to maintain the status quo. But how are you going to live in the status quo, without insurance or with insurance? How would you rather live?
I think that's what he was saying. That's a good point. What you're saying is the good point what we were talking about, that you're right, that within this bigger picture that the Democrats present, and they have more policies that help people and working class families. I think Proper agrees with that, and I absolutely agree with that. But Freedom said, listen, there's no policy from the Democratic Party that help Black Americans. That's what Freedom Fighter 2022 said.
But again, that goes back, that's a very scathing general statement. Then he has to support that. But he has to kind of like qualify or quantify what the hell he means by there's no policy that, again, I said seemingly, if you're talking about liberation, that's different. But if you ain't talking about liberation, then there's plenty of policies. If you're not talking about liberation, there's plenty of policies. So some of us be talking about liberation ain't really down for liberation. So if you ain't down for liberation, those democratic policies should have you smiling. Even if you don't agree with everything. But if you're down for liberation, like I feel like there has to be some liberation personally. Now, I can also see why people struggle with the idea, that why would we vote somebody to give us a Band-Aid? And there's that other mindset that says, well, I would rather, some would say even that I would rather have Trump in there because maybe we'll feel the pain a little bit. And by feeling the pain, we'll fight harder. And I talked to a dear brother the other day, brother D. Cliff. He's not in here today. And he made a good point. He said, we've been saying that forever too. We've been saying, we done felt Nixon, we done felt Reagan, we done felt all these white guys for all these years. And how much more feeling do we have to have before we do the thing that we said we're going to do? So I get that. It makes sense on a logical level. I even understand it. To some degree, I feel like we do. I know that we have to feel it. I do. I know we have to feel it before we decide to move in a liberatory sense. However, there's the other side who is saying, well, I'm cool as long as I can go to work. I can take care of my family. I can get some health benefits. I can drink some beer when I get off. If you that person, like most of the people are, who ain't trying, democratic politics, those people, it's not like they don't make sense. They just don't. They're not really for upheaval. They're just not for that. There's a very small percentage of people who benefit from those things. Matter of fact, people of color benefit from everything from what?
Everything from black people. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so freedom fighter. What I am saying to you, you
just tell
me
them to
how,
come on the chat.
Tell
them
me
to
how.
hit the link.
Hit the link. Tell me how, or
That's
tell us how those people with that particular mindset don't feel that they benefit. And again, I clearly said seemingly deal. If you ain't talking about liberation and you say freedom fighter, so I imagine you talking about liberation. So I understand. I would imagine why you feel like they don't benefit. But from the mindset of people who ain't about no war and upheaval and uprisings and tearing down the system and all that, they feel like they benefit. And if they have that mindset, they do benefit more from that type of government than a Trump government. Although, if they're comfortable with being what quote unquote we call oppressed. But I get all of it. I even get your ideas. I understand your perspective and I agree with it to a degree.
Well, I want to say shout out to everyone. NFL is on the first football game tonight. So you guys who are with us, y'all are 10 toes down. We appreciate it.
Don't
like,
tell them about
share,
that.
subscribe. Listen, I'm being honest.
You about to lose the whole audience. You didn't remind
they
them that
already
the Ravens
know, bro.
You didn't remind them that the Ravens is playing.
Bro, but it's other than, we all over the country. Not everybody want to be a Raven. You know what I'm saying?
No, hold up. Look, that's the only team I'm talking about right now. That's the only team. Ain't no other teams.
Everybody's not going to be a Raven.
Nah. Well, you look. How many teams are playing tonight?
Just two.
You said ask everybody all across the country. It's only 2 games to look at.
It's only 1 game.
Okay, that's what I just said. Okay, that's what I said. 1 game.
That's what I'm saying. So we all over the world. It's people who don't watch
the
football.
Ravens are playing.
Yes.
And you said, well, it's more teams playing. We're talking about tonight. I don't know what you're talking about, Queen. We're talking about tonight. We're talking about right now. We're going to rewind. This is what me and Queen do, y'all. Queen says stuff. Go ahead, Queen.
No, we listening to you. Go ahead.
She says things, and then somehow what I said, and then she says something, and then she said I didn't say that. I don't. But go ahead, Queen. I'm hearing myself back.
You are okay. Well, let's go to Agoff. Agoff says Trump's no tax on tips plan would have allowed Elon Musk to claim his $50 billion bonus from Tesla be called a tip and go tax-free. Kamala's plan was for food and hospitality workers. So Agoff is a staunch Democrat. We could see that because he's always got the policies up here and telling us what the Democrats are doing. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm independent, but I think they both have serious problems. Trumpy is a problem, but I think the Democrats have problems too. Biden isn't special. He's been in politics a long time. He wrote a policy that's hurt black families hurt black families for centuries. So I'm not in love with Biden and none of the Democrats' policy. Let's be clear, Mr. Agoff.
So what I'm thinking, again, there's various perspectives. I think that the mindset when it comes to Kamala supporter is very nuanced, and I don't think that everybody's dumb or because they said they're going to vote for her, like some of us say, like, oh, you dumb, you're going to vote for her. In fact, I think that some people who consider, I'm not saying I know those who consider themselves revolutionaries even or leftists who are saying they're going to vote for Kamala because that is the enemy that they would rather face. That's another mindset. They would rather face that enemy than face Trump as an enemy. I'm not sure whether any of us felt any difference when Trump was in office versus Biden. Did you notice any differences? Some would say that there was a lot more things that were pervasive and things like that. I think it's to me it's not as simple as we make, and I think that as freedom fighter says, and many of us say many times, I would suggest that we have to be more. No, this is not what he says, but I'm saying to him and those of us who say things like he says or write things like he's writing, that we have to be a little bit more specific and clear when we say that people don't benefit from certain things, or that moreover, that when we say that they're all the same, when people don't see them as the same because they're running on two different platforms and have different policies and agendas. I know we can say it's all serves one agenda, but life for people are different depending on who gets in that White House. That their daily lives are different depending who gets in that White House. It does impact them because federal legislation does impact people on a local level. I know we say our politics are local, but federal legislation also works alongside with state legislation.
Federal matters. It matters.
I mean, even when you say I got Medicaid or what have you, that is a federal thing that comes through the state. So what I'm saying is, if it was up to Trump, you probably wouldn't have any Medicaid. I'm not saying that. Perhaps I can also see the other mindset. Some people will see Medicaid as a Band-Aid that's preventing us from liberating ourselves. I can see that mindset. You know?
See what Freedom says. He says economic development is liberation, not depending on anybody else. Here we go.
Well, I think that Dr. Ball does a really good job of debunking our ability to liberate ourselves through economic development alone, that there has to be some political, I'm going to say warfare to liberate us, and any other things short of that, anything short of, when I say political warfare, I'm not necessarily saying war. I'm not necessarily saying war, but what I am saying is that there has to be some fight on a political level, even if it's through electoral politics, if that is building a new government, whatever that looks like, if that's through policy and procedure, whatever that is, I don't know, but I do agree that it has to be something done on a political level.
Dr. Ball, Jared Ball, check him out, Freedom. He definitely communicates this subject very well when it comes to liberation without other means. So I agree with you on that. Okay, so we've got a lot of comments here. These folks are definitely into politics. Nobody want to come and visit us. Listen, the link is in the chat, guys.
Yeah, we got 7 minutes. We got 7 minutes on here.
And come on in here.
Mm-hmm. Come on, y'all. Come on up in here. Queen been
Come
trying
on
to
up
get
in
y'all
here. Don't be scared.
Look,
Come
maybe
see
we need to
us.
take these fatigue hats off. That's what it is. They're scared. They're scared.
This is the Orioles hat.
Oh, okay. You look, she happy about her cap.
It says Baltimore.
She got
See
it the
that?
last time she was up here.
And I don't even like the O's. I don't even know why I'm going that route.
But aren't they doing good this year?
I think they are. And last year. They did pretty good. They're doing good
And
this
the
year.
year before that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shut up. It's been since Dwight Eisenhower that a Republican has left office with more middle-class earners than when they took office. Democrats are about to have done so with our last 3. Let's make it 4. There's some Democrats in this chat. I want one Republican, please, because we got a lot of Democrats. Golf is just coming. Freedom. Freedom. Huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Freedom says affirmative action was for black people. Agents came and had it taken away. What agents? Freedom, you need to come in here.
I'm confused with Freedom.
Me
and
too.
what I mean is that if he felt like affirmative action, I'm confused. See, because what party is supporting affirmative action right now? Ooh. So again, affirmative action is done through legislation and policy. So I'm confused about what he's confused about. You understand?
It's federal.
Yeah, I'm pretty confused. Like, so what other? So you think that Trump is going to get you affirmative action, Or do you think the Democrats are going to give you the Dixiecrats or the Democrats or who do you think is going to more likely get you affirmative action? In fact, I'm not sure. I don't have the historical information on who actually drafted that legislation in the first place. Somebody, one of my smart friends in this chat board, can kind of give us the insight what party actually enacted or brought about affirmative action. That would be interesting. But I know that over the years that people speak about how Republicans and Democrats kind of switched their aim and all that type
I
of
think
thing.
that came in at a JFK, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it did.
Okay.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I know. I think it came in.
Queen is never wrong.
Gosh, whatever. Okay, Proper said too many people have fallen in love with the principle of the protest vote, that they're not changing their mind about supporting Trump just to show they're mad at Democrats.
You know, it's interesting. I'm not even sure. I think half of them talking mess. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think half the people who ain't telling people who they talking about Kamala, but they gonna be up in there voting for Kamala. Anyway, you know what? I think a lot of us are hurt from let's keep it a buck, Obama. Because I mean, every revolutionary became most of them. I remember going to debates about Obama back in what was it 2009 or something like that, somewhere around there, where they were having debates about Obama. It was very interesting because Glenn Ford, off of I think it was Sirius Radio, Rest in Power. He and I think Kedia Wadu and maybe Durham Muhammad, I think, was the host. And then on one side, it might have been somebody else on that side of the panel against Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Baba Anthony T. Browder. And all these people are considered quote unquote conscious folk, but one side was more pro Trump. I'm sorry. Side was pro. Let me take that off. One side was more pro Obama, and the other side was like anti-Obama. Not really ever really, and that's the other thing. The people who tear these things down many times don't really express maybe where our votes should go. That is another thing. So should we go and so if we tear them down, should we go and vote for Cornel West? Now, I'll be honest with you. If I had the dream of all dreams right now, I would like to see Cornel West in the White House. Although I'm not even sure if I trust him. But now they say a black man up in the White House. You know, I would like to see
I don't know if he a black man. He never taught no black students.
Well, you don't have to. He had plenty of black students. If whether or not they're giving him a paycheck or not. I mean, you know.
I'm playing, but I don't trust Cornel West. I like him. I think he's brilliant, but just like Kamala, they both.
Can you still see me? Because
I have problems with both of them.
It said I'm in audio only mode or something, but okay.
Oh, I think that's your other computer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I just put it back. It's back on the stage. So Freedom Fight says, you're wrong that Kamala Harris her policies are communist. She says she wants everybody to have the same exact health care. This communism and people have no
where's that at? Okay, it's right there. You're
thought of communism and they call people communists. I love it. You're wrong.
So Freedom Fighter, is that freedom? Is that liberation? I want to know if she is communist. To you, would that not count as a liberatory act? Or so what is liberation for you, Freedom? And so if her policies are communist and you feel like people shouldn't vote for her, if you really think they're hardcore communist policies, then why not? I'm confused. Oh, I get it. You talked about economic development, so you're kind of like for black capitalism. I got you now.
That's what it is. Yeah. Freedom, you can come on and talk about it. We're about to get up out of here, but we would love to hear from you. Takeoff is hitting him because he got it. 1961 affirmative action. In response to the civil rights movement, President JFK created a committee on equal employment opportunity in 1961 and
Hey,
issued
golf
executive
in the
order.
building. Do we need to like we like that a golf and I told you Queen is never wrong. Well, we're going to check. We hope that you're right though. We believe you're right because you seem like you in there. I don't know what this mask with Donald on there is.
Yeah, I don't
But
know what
yeah.
that is.
But thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I told you Queen ain't never wrong. The historian, the historian in the building.
To refer to measures designed to achieve non-discrimination. Good job, Big Golf. You need to come join us. You coming with the facts. Obama supported changes to education that was detrimental to HBCUs, and his support of killing Gaddafi was the last thing for me. I say I'm voting Cornel West. He's the blackest candidate running. I hear you, proper. Watch the blackest. Be careful. Check out Cornell. Be
Well,
careful.
so what about Cornell? What about Cornell that you said watch out for?
Listen, I like Cornell, but he got some issues
Hold on,
too.
hold on. I did not ask you that.
I say you got some issues too.
I said, what about Cornell should we watch out for?
I mean, well, he said the blackest candidate running.
No. What should
I
we
agree with
watch
that,
out
then.
for? No,
Listen,
hold on.
I'm
Don't
not here
backtrack.
talking about these. I'm not up here to talk about these candidates and their stuff.
I'm about to Dr. Bryant you on the show. Don't deflect. Don't deflect. Man, I had a chance to look at that Cam Newton joint, man. Cam Newton is she get look. I didn't look at the whole thing, but I looked at
Cam
somebody else's
Newton
video.
is
Very much more. My assessment last week was
he's a clown.
accurate. It was accurate. The little clip that I saw, my assessment was really on because I saw another person who really looked at the video thoroughly and she broke it down. And this guy he said so much nonsense throughout that video, but he's one of those guys that would probably vote for Trump. No, I'm not.
Starting trouble.
Even if he doesn't, I'm just saying he has that type of mindset. There's a certain high level of disrespect for women, even if he doesn't realize it. And
he's also definitely disrespecting women. Definitely
operating out of fear like crazy. You know what I mean? And that's what Trump operates out of, a level of fear.
Mm-hmm.
When you operate at a level of fear, Trump will save the day.
Yep. You're very irrational. And he's irrational. His behaviors are irrational. The way he's living his life is irrational. That's all what fear brings. So he might like Trumpy. Who knows?
Yeah. So look, Queen, we're gonna close it out, right? Because
we're gonna close it out. Listen,
we got some more comments.
Let's get some comments and then we're gonna close. But listen, guys, I appreciate you guys for coming through on this Thursday. We got our golf. We're hitting it again. Then
Did we ever put the link? Did we ever put the link in the chat board? We asking people to come
put it in it twice.
Okay.
Then LBJ passed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, which caused the Dixiecrats, which you spoke of, to abandon Democrats during Nixon, turning the South red, as it mostly still is. And he's correct. The South is very still red, and it happened under LBJ. I agree with that. Freedom says some black students, in order to get into Ivy League schools, would go to have affirmative action. Asian people would get into Ivy League schools like Harvard and Yale through affirmative action. I guess that's two. Yes, affirmative action has helped a lot of people get into these schools that they don't particularly would probably get into, but you still have to have a certain amount of grades and be prepared for these schools. Because you get in because of affirmative action doesn't mean you can stay. So you have to.
I think he's probably trying to support something that we said earlier when we asked about the question, who would actually fight for affirmative action. I don't know exactly what Freedom is saying here. I'm almost under the assumption that he's possibly saying that affirmative action doesn't only help black people. I'm thinking like on one hand he's saying earlier, like sound like he was pro affirmative action, and then once I said something about who would more likely bring about legislation for affirmative action. Now Democrats. He's saying, well, it doesn't only help black people, it also helps white women. And it also, so he's like, I think he's double dutching. I don't know, but I could be
Freedom
wrong.
Freedom is very rebellious. Freedom, you can come on stage and talk to us. You ain't got to keep writing. Hit the link, bro. Okay, so we got a new Nanashi no Monogatari. I hope.
Family, freedom. Stick with us though. Make sure you like family. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all subscribe on both stations. Go over to Black Box Radio family. You can put at Black Box. Black Box is spelled BLAKBOXX Radio. Over there, just that's the handle at Black Box Radio. Come over to
That's right.
Dr. Daw or DR dot Dennis Asar Winkler. Also come over here and like the video, share the video, and also make sure y'all leave comments so that we can get in the algorithm.
Please do. We got a new person. Welcome, Nanashi. I'm gonna try to say your name. No Monogatari. Tell me if I said it right. EEOC, I believe, was later. After the Civil Rights Act of 1963, Kennedy suggested, which after his assassination got taken over by LBJ with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, this executive order. And I think that's correct too, because he was assassinated. LBJ got a lot of props for things that he just walked in on, just like Trumpy. So I think that's one of the presidents. So after he was assassinated, there was a lot of things in place, and LBJ walked in and just put his signature, and it became his policies. But I don't particularly think they were his policies at the onset, neither.
Y'all know I'm a therapist, right?
We think.
And what happens is they got a lot of what do you call those things? Geez, what do you call them? Acronyms in that field, like PTSD and ADD and BD and BPD and all these different D's and A's and B's, and now we got an LBJ. Like, and I'll be like, just tell me the word. Like
Leonard Baines Johnson.
Okay. like everybody doesn't know what the hell a LBJ mean or what APD.
Yeah, EEOC is, I think, Equal Employment Equal Opportunity Commission, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Right. Okay, cool.
So Papa said Cornell got issues, but he blacker than Kamala and Trump all day. I think he's black, but we got to look at his policies too.
I think they're saying he's culturally black, and he probably got some black issues.
Yes.
he got some black I grew up in American South issues or something like that, you know.
And he teach at Ivy League schools.
No,
Ivy League schools.
He doesn't teach at
invested in slavery.
He doesn't teach at Ivy League school anymore.
Well, he has most his whole career.
That's not enough to hold against a person because he teaches at Ivy League school. Every school, every school in this country likely has maintained and perpetuated. Well, I'm going to say maintained and perpetuated the status quo.
Absolutely, I believe that. But Ivy League schools have they've contributed to slavery.
I went to a Jesuit university, and the reason why I'm saying this is because now people are going to just discredit me because I went to a Jesuit university.
I have problems with that too.
Who also came out that they contributed slaves like Loyola in Georgetown and these type of quote unquote schools and institutions that also have have their own history as well. But that does not put a mark on me because I decided to go there. And God knows I taught at Waynesburg. I don't know. That's in the north.
I don't know if it doesn't put a mark on you, but we're gonna let it go for right now. But I don't know about putting a mark.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Cool, let's thank you. And so let me see what I got. Well, thanks, Nanashi. So Golf says Trump gave $80 million to HBC. No, he didn't.
Hello?
What's wrong? I said Trump gave $80 million to HBCs during this term. Golf, I want you to go look at it. He did not. Biden Harris gave $16 billion, which is 16,000 million. It's not even close. Trump doubled black unemployment. Biden has cut it in half. I'm not sure about any of that, but I know that Trump didn't give 80 million to nobody, especially not black folks or our schools, or their schools that they say are our schools. And I'm a graduate of HBCU. No. Look at it again. It's not. He did not give 80 million. It did not happen. It looks like let's get Nanashi one more time. Education, especially in university, has created classism among African Americans in particular, but Americans in general. That's an interesting statement, Nanashi. Doc, you with us? He's having some issues, guys. You with that, Da? Da?
I'm back.
Thank you. This is a great. We're almost out of here, but this is a great. I like what she says here, or Nanashi says, education, especially in the university, has created classism amongst African Americans in particular, but Americans in general.
It's not
Education is that.
there's not an institution that has not created classism in this country. I worked at a hotel. I worked in housekeeping. It was on the bottom floor. We wore blue, dark blue, and sometimes denim blue. We worked next to the engineers. They weren't like, college educated engineers, but you call them engineering, but they do the things like fix the toilets and fix the light bulbs. And then those two people on the bottom level of the, they fight between whose job it is to change the light bulb. Engineers are like, that's below me, and housekeeping is like, that's not our job. But we do know that we at the bottom of the totem pole, literally in the sub basement in the hotel. But then we know that on the floor above that was where the bellmen, and they got bow ties on, and the banquets with their bow ties on. The house, more like house people. We're more like the field people in the low level. You got the people, the bellmen who look like Chicken George and got the bow tie, and you got the people at the front desk. They ain't changing no goddamn light bulb. In fact, they are to actually play the part to be very hospitable to the masters. And then over top of them in the back office, you have white people that's controlling all of them. So there's not an institution in this country that does not create hierarchical positionings among black people and other people. There's also, when you go to any type of hospital, the first thing you see the different colors in the jackets, and you see the different colors and what the people have on. Then I guess you can say education has something to do with that, but you can go to Social Security, and some of them people have never been formally trained with anything, and they got all types of R15s and 19s and 17s. And I mean, I have a lot of clients that come to me and tell me they're fighting for rank. And this country is a hierarchical system that doesn't matter what the system is. People are put in positions where they are fighting for a hierarchical rank. So it's not just education system. It's just the problem that we tend to fall for these things. I think you muted yourself. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the first time, Freedom, I agree with you. I work at the New Jersey State Museum. I wore the same colors, and we argue over the same exact thing.
What was that? What
I
did
think Freedom
say?
is finally agreeing with you. And Freedom, we know you're on your phone. No, don't worry about your spelling. He says, yeah. So
Why you suddenly put Freedom on blast like that, though?
I'm telling the brother that we get
Freedom,
it.
Freedom, we know you on your phone.
No, he wrote it in the chat.
Are you helping him out? I see. All right, I put him on blast. Okay,
he wrote it in the chat.
That's just how he write. I'm messing with you, Freedom. Thanks you. I'm just messing around, Freedom.
Oh, but Nanashi doesn't play because Nanashi's coming back. Nanashi said, I'm not talking about social hierarchy. What I'm speaking to is education is a common denominator when it comes to to university education. The issue isn't rank. The issue is dictating who is believed.
What does that mean? Let me read that again slower. I am not talking about social hierarchy. What I am speaking about too is education is a common denominator when it comes to university education. The issue isn't rank. The issue is dictating who is believed. Okay, I don't know. I don't understand what he's saying. What is he saying?
You got to come on, but it's in the chat. It says
okay.
to be more qualified to make statements and opinions over others based off credentials acquired in university. It's really far more like talent and intent kind of idea.
Okay. I'm trying to take that back to the statement that he said before, though. What did he say before that? Okay.
He said he was not talking about a social hierarchy. What I'm speaking to.
No, I'm talking about the statement that he's responding to that I responded to.
Which one?
That Cornell worked at? Was it that Cornell worked at a? I don't know, but yeah, I mean I do, but nonetheless, the hierarchy is all around us, and this
one, education creates classism.
Education especially in university, has created classism amongst African Americans, particular, but Americans in general. Okay, that's one way to create rank. Another way to create it is economic. I mean, it's plenty of ways to do it. This system does it in so many different ways. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. What's that?
You know what's so hard is people trying to write all their thoughts, and we can't understand
We
everything they're
can't. We
thinking. That's
we
why we
can't.
gave y'all the chat. We
We
gave
can't.
y'all the link.
We can't decipher.
Yeah, I can't decipher everything they're saying, but we appreciate actually your input. Always, you jump in the chat and don't hold back. We
Well,
appreciate you
they
guys.
are holding back because I don't understand what they saying. I'm messing with you, Queen.
But guys, listen, you guys are our co-hosts, so come on. When you come in the chat, just hit the link and come see us. It's no attack. It's all love here. So it's a safe space. Come talk to us. Come talk to the people. We would love to hear from you in real time. Thanks for hitting us up on a Thursday. We are moving to Thursday at 9. We are going to compete with the NFL, but we're flyer than them. So come back every Thursday to see us.
So by doing away with affirmative action, that opens
I
the
see you
door
go
for
straight back to the chat.
privileged elite children to attend Ivy League. Okay. By doing away with affirmative action, that opened the door for privileged elite children to attend Ivy League schools ahead of Asians and others. Okay, again, Freedom, you're doing the best job of supporting what I was saying earlier. Thank you. I mean, Freedom, you're the best co-pilot I ever had in life. You are supporting the ideas and the notion that the Democratic Party, with their ideas of affirmative action, has done something different than what we call the conservative, quote unquote, party. And I think the conservative party, which people call quote unquote conservative but Republican Party, and Queen and some other folk actually. Who's our brother? Gulf. Actually put out the information that was a Democratic policy, and that policy that you seem to be strong for is a result of Democratic policy. Now, if we want to look at it on a whole nother level, I get it. All this stuff is in service to maintain the status quo, but in its service to the status quo, there's still different ways, and people feel it differently in their daily life experiences. I think you muted, Queen.
Yeah, I'm unmuting myself. Dada is the final statement tonight. Guys, we appreciate the input. We'll be back here next Thursday at 9. I need you to like, share, subscribe to Black Box Radio, and definitely to Dr. Da's channel, Dr. Dennis Ossaw Winkler. Please like, share, subscribe.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. I like how you said it. Go say it one more time.
Dr. Dennis Ossaw Winkler.
Okay.
Please share, subscribe, and like his videos too. This guy is fly. That's why he's here with me. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming through. This has been Doc in the Box. Every Thursday, guys, at 9 p.m. Come through. We got something for you. Please have a good rest of your week. We see you guys next Thursday. We boxed up and out. Let's get them deuces, Da.
When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.